Hi, welcome to Nini's Nest. I'm back with another book by Loren. The title is Otis. This is Otis. And the last story I read about Otis was called Otis and the Puppy. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure and do so that you can subscribe to all my books that I read and go back and look at that book called Otis and the Puppy. Looks like this time a little calf is in this story, and so I love the cover, the picture of Otis. And let's just go inside and begin the story. It's a large book, so let me make sure I've got it in full view there. Here's where we start on the left side. There was once a friendly little tractor, and his name was Otis. And every day Otis and his farmer worked together, taking care of the farm they called home. Otis liked to work. The farmer, Otis, and their farm. But after working hard all day, Otis was ready to unwind and play. He would ride the rolling hills and skirt mud pond down by the corn. He would leapfrog bales of hay and explode through the haystacks. I don't see the farmer in that picture, so it must be after the farmer's gone in for dinner. On occasion, he would chase a rabbit and play Ring Around the Rosie with the ducks to the sound of his steady put, puff, puttity, chuff. And sometimes, at the end of the day, he would just sit under the apple tree and watch the farm below. It's such a nice farm. Look at that. The silo and the windmill, the barn, the farmhouse. Every night, tired but happy, Otis would puff into the little stall in the barn that was all his. One night, when Otis was fast asleep, the farmer brought a beautiful baby calf into the barn. The calf bawled and bawled for her mother, but when the sleepy sound of a soft put, puff, puttity, chuff came from the next stall, the scared little calf stopped bawling and drifted off to sleep. Otis seems to have a good effect on the animals on the farm. It was true in the puppy story as well. From that day on, the calf started following the little tractor wherever he went. Put, puff, puttity, chuff. She followed him over the rolling hills and down by the mud pond. She was right behind him, leapfrogging bales of hay. And the calf made their games of Ring Around the Rosie all the better. Calf caught in the middle. Let's see what happens next. Sometimes at the end of the day, the two of them would just sit together under the apple tree and watch the farm below. Otis loved his little calf, and the little calf loved Otis. You can see that in the picture, can't you? Then one day the farmer surprised everyone with a brand new yellow tractor. "Time to move out, Otis," the farmer said. He took Otis out of the little stall in the barn that was all his and parked him back behind the barn. Then he backed the big yellow tractor into the stall next to the little calf. Oh my, I can see a problem coming, can you? But the little calf didn't like the big yellow tractor. He had a deep rumbling snore that shook the stall when he slept. There was no one to purr the little calf gently to sleep. no one to spend her days with. And Otis could not even see his farm as the weeds began to cover his tires. His friend often sat with him, but she could not get him to play like the old days. Oh, how sad. It's about to be covered with vines. It was early summer when the farmer discovered a poster. Who was the prettiest calf in the land? Judges will decide at the county fair and award a fancy blue ribbon to the winner. The farmer knew the answer. He would show the little calf. But on the morning of the fair, the little calf was nowhere to be found. She had wandered down to Mud Pond by the cornfield to cool off. When she waded into the muddy water, her feet sank. With every step, she sank deeper and deeper and deeper. The little calf was stuck in the mud pond. Ooh. Get the hands, the farmer shouted when he saw her. All the farm hands came running with their ropes. But the more they tugged, the more stuck the calf got. And it's sinking. Get the big yellow tractor, the farmer shouted. He can save her. But the big tractor just scared the little calf, and she sank in deeper and deeper. Nearby farmers began to gather. Wow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more besides the farmer that is at the farm here. Then call Fire Chief Douglas and the fire truck, the farmer shouted. They can save our little calf. But the sight of the big red fire truck startled the little calf in even deeper. The farmer was fit to be tied. If the farmhands and the big tractor and even Fire Chief Douglas and his fire truck couldn't save the little calf, who could? I bet we know. Suddenly, the little calf's ears perked up. Over the hum of the growing crowd, there came a faint sound in the distance, a soft, rhythmic purr. Put, puff, puttity, chuff. The crowd turned and looked. The sound became louder. Put, puff, puttity, chuff. And all at once, Otis puffed from around the barn. He turned and headed straight toward the mud pond. That is music to the calf's ears. Otis puffed down the rolling hill and pulled right up next to the muddy water's edge. The calf heard her friend's puttering purr and bawled. It was something like a hello. Then to the sound of his gentle chuff and the amazement of all the people in the crowd, Otis slowly began to circle the pond. He circled and he circled, and the little calf turned and turned, never taking her eyes off of her friend. With each ring Otis made around Mud Pond, the muddy grip loosened until the calf was able to stumble out of the pond on her own. The two friends had found each other again. Look at the crowd cheering and clapping, taking their caps off. What an exciting moment. Otis led the calf right down the dusty road toward the village, and everyone threw flowers as they went, following them into town. It looked like a happy parade. No one needed a fancy blue ribbon to tell them that the calf was a special calf. Otis was a special tractor, and the two of them were special friends. From that day on, the farmer discovered that with Otis's puttering purr beside the chicken coop, his chickens laid more eggs. At milking time, with Otis's gentle chuff nearby, his cows produce more milk. On occasion, Otis even got to join the farmer and the big yellow tractor out in the fields. But often, at the end of the day, Otis would just sit with his friend under the apple tree and watch the farm below. The end. What a happy ending. I especially love this picture of the parade into town. I love the Otis books. So please come back soon and we'll have another, if I can find one at the library, because they're really special books. Have a great weekend.